Did you know that it is possible to decipher the thoughts of others by using only 3 simple strategies? Let's examine what these strategies are and how to apply them. These skills are necessary to overcome all circumstances because, by mastering them, it becomes much easier to interpret and understand the thoughts of others. Let's look at a story on the Stoic theme that illustrates how to decipher the thoughts of others. The story goes like this. In an ancient village lived 2 brothers. The elder was blind and spent most of his time at home, while the younger took care of agriculture. Often, he would discover that their field was ravaged by wild animals. The younger brother, preoccupied by this situation, finally found a solution. He thought, why not ask for my blind brother's help to keep the beasts away from the field? He could stay among the crops and alert me upon hearing any animal noise. After reflecting, the younger brother built a small hut in the field and moved his elder brother there, explaining, brother, if you hear a suspicious noise, simply shout to scare the animals away. This will preserve our harvest. The elder accepted the offer and began to play his role in the field. Whenever he heard an animal noise, he shouted to scare them away. Thus passed several days, until a deer quickly crossed the field, damaging a part of the fence before fleeing. Shortly after, the king who was pursuing the deer arrived at the scene. The monarch addressed the blind brother and asked him if he had seen the deer pass by. The blind man replied, Your Majesty, I am blind. How could I see a deer? However, I can assure you that the creature that fled from my field is not worth your hunt. You are wasting your efforts in vain. The king was stunned by the blind brother's claims and questioned him about his knowledge. He had doubts about the truthfulness of the blind man's words because, despite his blindness, he expressed an opinion on the importance of the deer. To this, the blind man replied, Your Majesty, the creature you are pursuing is actually a pregnant doe. I do not remember the king ever pursuing a pregnant doe. So I consider your zeal pointless, and that it is not worth wasting your efforts on her. The king, impressed by this, could not understand how the blind man had determined the condition of the doe. He wondered how a person without vision could be so sure. Under the influence of the desire to verify this, he ordered his commander, capture this animal alive. I need to check if she is really pregnant. The blind man seems very convinced, and I must investigate this. Go and confirm her condition. The commander received the king's orders and set off. Upon his return, he confirmed to the king that the blind man was right and that the doe was indeed pregnant. The king, full of astonishment, could not understand how the blind man knew the doe was pregnant. He wondered how the blind man could know it, how he could be so sure. Questioning the brother to clarify the mystery, the king said, I may doubt the fact that you are truly blind, but I have come to ask you a question. Are you ready to give me an honest answer? To this, the blind man replied, Your Majesty, ask what you wish, and I will answer with all sincerity. The monarch said, You are a person of exceptional insight, and it seems you have a deep understanding of various matters. I've summoned you today to know if my wife is cheating on me. The blind man replied, Your Majesty, what led you to ask such a question? Your union has been long-lasting over many years. Why then do such doubts arise now in your mind? However, the king insisted, affirming, You must answer this question. Otherwise, you will be executed. Faced with the monarch's threat, the blind man expressed, Your Majesty, to give you the answer you seek, I need you to satisfy one of my requests. The king asked, What is it? To this, the blind man replied, For this, I need to be left alone with your wife in a room. At first, the king was displeased with this proposal, but finally he accepted and ordered his commander to leave the blind man and the queen alone in the room. At that moment, the blind man expressed the intention to establish physical contact with the queen. Faced with such a statement, the queen reacted violently. After the conflict, the blind man managed to escape and presented himself before the king. Then the blind man informed the king, Your Majesty, your wife is unfaithful to you. Enraged, the king drew his sword and headed toward the queen, warning her that any lie would result in her execution. The question was the queen's fidelity. To this, she replied, "Your Majesty, you can deprive me of my life, but not of my honor," confirming the truth of the blind man's words. The king quickly approached the blind man and asked how he knew his wife was cheating on him. The blind man replied, "Your Majesty, it was very simple. I mentioned to your wife my desire to touch her, and her reaction was so violent that she began to attack me. Instead of rejecting me, she chose violence, having been touched by me in the process. Now tell me, how could she be faithful reacting in this manner?" Impressed by the blind man's insight, the king exclaimed, "Your insight is admirable. Continue, give me the correct answer to another question, and you will be released." The king asked, "Tell me, am I truly the son of my father or of another man?" To this, the blind man replied, "Your Majesty, does this really worry you?" Nevertheless, the king insisted, "No, I need a concrete answer. Otherwise, doubts will consume me. I want to know the truth." The blind man replied, "Your Majesty, I can reveal your lineage to you right now, but first I need your promise that you will not react with anger. The king is the son of his father, but also influenced by a greedy merchant." Hearing this, the king immediately turned to his mother and asked, "Mother, please tell me the truth. Am I truly the son of my father or of another? If you do not tell me, I will renounce my existence right here." The king's mother replied, "Son, you are truly a descendant of your father, but you are also influenced by a greedy merchant." Relieved, the king immediately returned to the blind man and asked how he knew that a greedy merchant influenced him. The blind man replied, "Your Majesty, I have correctly answered several of your questions, but I have not yet received any reward. From this, I concluded your inclination for avarice." The king laughed and said, "Whatever you ask shall be given to you, but explain to me how you distinguish the right from the wrong. How can you give such accurate answers?" The blind man said, "Your Majesty, my blindness is congenital. If I had sight, I would have easily been able to understand the thoughts of other people. The mind has its own language, reflected in body movements. By observing the eyes, the lips, and gestures, one can understand what is happening in a person's mind. But being blind, I perceive through actions to understand what a person truly is, based on what is happening in their mind." The king asked, "So I could also understand the thoughts of others?" To which the blind man replied, "Without a doubt, you can also distinguish the thoughts of others. But first, you must work on yourself. This work involves calming your mind and focusing on the present. For this, today, I will show you 3 simple and accessible methods. First of all, press like and subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. But let's return to wisdom. The eyes and body expression are the messengers of these emotions. In moments of sadness, they reflect such a feeling, while a sincere laugh that makes the eyes shine and lifts the cheeks signifies happiness, benevolence, and generosity. The eyes play a key role. When they are bright and sparkling, one can trust that the joy is authentic. In addition, pay attention to the area between the eyebrows, where wrinkles form under tension, often expressing confusion, intense reflection, or the effort to understand something complex. The second technique, Your Majesty, consists of observing non-verbal language. The body and hands can transmit a lot without words, creating a secret language that expresses desires and feelings. Through gestures such as the drumming of fingers or repetitive tapping on something, this can indicate boredom, impatience, or the desire to end the conversation. I remember a time when I met someone who was very interested in selling me something. His fingers tapped rapidly on his knee, indicating a lack of interest or an anxiety to finish our conversation. On the contrary, a person who remains still and adopts a relaxed posture shows attention. This behavior reflects a sincere interest and the desire to listen further. I remember how my perceptive teacher often adopted such a posture. Though calm, he leaned in with interest, showing his desire to engage further in the discussion. People who constantly manipulate their face during a conversation can give you clues about their thoughts. These gestures indicate anxiety and hidden intentions. Similarly, hand movements can reveal a lot. For example, if someone quickly touches their nose during a conversation, it can suggest that they are lying or are not entirely honest. Paying attention to how they react to our words and understanding what is happening in their minds can help interpret their thoughts. However, before continuing, it is extremely important to focus your attention on the present. Only in this way will you be able to observe all these behaviors, interpret them, and understand what is happening in the other person's mind. If you are stuck in the past or preoccupied with the future, you will never be able to grasp the other person's body language and consequently will not understand their thoughts. Now, Your Majesty, let's move on to the third technique. Before I unveil it, so that you can focus your mind, we can understand the thoughts of others, particularly when they are also focused on the present. It is important to bring our minds back to the present to catch their thoughts. Continuing with the third technique, the blind man told the king that to understand someone's thoughts, observe their voice. The voice can reveal a lot about what a person thinks and feels. A fast and excited tone on one side and someone who speaks slowly and relaxed on the other is probably calm and collected. In addition, pay attention to the tone of the voice. A loud and piercing tone can express anger or frustration, while a soft and calm one suggests peace and relaxation. I remember talking to someone who claimed to be happy, but his voice was strained and agitated, making me doubt his true joy. The voice can also express emotions, as in the cases of sighs, screams, or sincere laughter. By paying attention to how they articulate words and use tone, you can easily understand their thoughts and feelings. That is all, Your Majesty. These are the three techniques I shared today. Observe a person's eyes, body language, and voice. Focus on these three aspects, and you will be able to easily grasp the thoughts of others. However, do not forget that you must first focus your mind on the present. Only in this way will you be able to observe, interpret, and perceive what is happening in the other person's mind. Thus you will be able to know their thoughts and enrich your existence. The application of these techniques in our modern life requires a conscious and deliberate approach, especially in a world where technology and distractions abound. To effectively integrate the observation of eyes, body language, and voice into our daily life, here are some practical tips. Practice mindfulness. Before you can observe others, you must be fully present. Start your day with a short meditation or breathing exercises to calm your mind. This will help you stay centered and attentive to subtle details in interactions with others. Improve your active listening. When conversing with someone, focus fully on what they are saying without thinking about your response. Listen with the intention to understand, not to reply. This will allow you to catch not only the words, but also the nuances in their voice that can reveal their true thoughts or emotions. Observe the unsaid. In our daily interactions, what is not said is often as important as the spoken words. Pay attention to body language, facial expressions, and gestures. For example, if someone crosses their arms during a conversation, this can indicate closeness or defensiveness, even if their words are welcoming. Put empathy into practice. Use your understanding of others' thoughts and emotions to respond with empathy. When you can perceive what someone is feeling, adapt your response to show that you understand and respect their perspective, even if you do not agree. Reduce digital distractions. In a world dominated by screens, it is easy to lose sight of the importance of human interactions. When you are with someone, put away your phone to show that you are fully engaged in the conversation. This strengthens the connection and allows you to be more attentive to non-verbal cues. Practice regularly. Like any skill, the ability to read the thoughts and emotions of others improves with practice. Look for opportunities to practice these techniques in various social situations, whether at work, with friends, or even during casual encounters. Stay open and curious. Keep an open and curious mind. A sincere interest in others, combined with the ability to observe attentively, opens the door to deeper and more meaningful relationships. By applying these techniques in our life, we can improve not only our ability to understand others, but also our way of communicating and interacting, leading to more enriching relationships and a better understanding of ourselves. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope these tips will be useful to you. Consider sharing with those who need to see it. After all, wisdom must be shared to flourish. Comment with, "I am a Stoic, and I will know you watched until the end." Now, whether you choose the path of Stoicism to the right or to the left, you have 2 Stoic videos that you will like. Until next time.